All right, y'all, just checking back in. My team is wrapping up now. And I realized I left you guys with kind of a cliffhanger or whatnot, so let me just get back into it, man. So we spoke about delegating. So now let's think about, well, how you going to delegate if you don't have any staff to delegate, right? And when is an appropriate time to start picking up staff, all right? So listen to me and hear me good now. Now, if you're in the Charleston area, we're going to help you find the accounts. But what we're going to be suggesting to you is that you start servicing these accounts by yourself as much as you could, because we're not going to provide you anything that you can't handle, so that you can start saving some money, man, so you can reinvest that money back into the company and you can implement other systems as well as hiring. Now, let's just say you already had some accounts. Let's say you had 5 to 6 accounts and you've been making about $6,000 a month, right? And you're at the point where you just want to grow your revenue and you're looking to grow your company, and then you still you see that happening through Charleston Tidy SAP program, right? So here's what I would suggest. You still need to hire. And what I didn't tell you guys is how to hire, right? So let's start here. There's various platforms, like especially here in Charleston, and I believe it's in the Southeast. There's a platform called GigPro. Now, GigPro has its pros and cons now. So what GigPro is going to allow you to do is pick up day labor. That day labor is going to come prepared. Most likely they'll have some experience, but they'll be up to task for the most part, because again, we're just cleaning, and you need the systems in place to go back and check behind them. But I digress. All right, so the platform's called GigPro, and what it's going to allow you to do is have a subcontractor that's coming in, most likely trained and familiar with janitorial work, but they're going to be fully insured or whatnot. There's going to be a small fee on what they're charging you, but it's not going to be anything that you can't handle. The con is these workers are paid every day. Now, we can't too much get around that, y'all, when we're looking for emergency help, because as long as you take it, man, we're in the gig economy. And a lot of times, people are looking to be paid every day. All right. And there's other measures you can take as far as just going to the traditional temp services or whatnot. Then you can start putting ads out on Craigslist. Started Instagram and a social media campaign just to let people know that you're hiring. But hiring is one thing. So now you need to figure out how I'm gonna find an A+ staff, right? Now, this is when it gets tricky, right? And my advice, what we try to do, and as annoying as it could be for all parties involved, we hire all the time. We're always putting out staff, we're always putting out paraphernalia to letting people know that we're hiring, and that's every day, right? So if you go on my Facebook page, my Instagram page, maybe not my LinkedIn page, because we concentrate on just messaging over there, but yeah, on those two platforms, man, we're trying to hire every day. That's the language. We're hiring. So the process is simple. Once you pick up a few applicants or whatnot, you interview them, and then going back into some of the techniques from the E-Myth, which is a great book, matter of fact. But yeah, what we started doing is we started bringing them in at different times, right? And then we started bringing them in at inconvenient times and in a group setting. We allowed them to compete against themselves, and it's a fun experience for our part, right? Because now we're trying to weed out who's going to work, who's going to put their best foot forward, and who is going to rise to the top. And even if we don't have a position for them, right? What we kindly tell them is, hey, look, the position that we had you pegged for, that's been filled, but we would like to reach out to you within the next 2 weeks, maybe even 30 days, to see if something else comes available, right? And then here's the gem in this whole thing. A lot of you guys are paying for resources that are already free, right? So here in Carolina, there's different resources. One being the SBDC, that's a Small Business Development Center. Shh, I'll say it loud, man, because they can't market. Because I believe because they're a nonprofit, don't hold me to that, but I know they can't market themselves, right? At the same time, man, they're going to offer you the resources, and they're going to put you in touch with the people who have the other resources that you need. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times we're making things harder on ourselves than we should be, right? Another hiring technique and that you might want to take advantage of is the goodwill. Everybody should have a goodwill in their area, and goodwill is constantly training people for different areas or whatnot. Just reach out to your local administrator in whatever city you are and tell them. You might tell them you're having hiring challenges, or you might just tell them you need some people. Now, look, there's no perfect situation, right? But at the same time, this labor might come at a discount. You know what I mean? They might just have people staffed, ready and loaded, man, just so you can take off and do what you need to do. Now it's going to be your responsibility to do the drug tests and the background checks and whatnot, and I do suggest that you do so. Whether you run on a second chance organization or you flat out just running your own, just running a pedestrian service. Maybe I didn't say that right, but you get what I'm saying, right? So you want to run those background checks and you want to run those drug tests, because if anything happens on those sites, man, you want to be covered. That's why GigPro and I'm gonna say another one, even though I'm not endorsed by them. Shift Now if you're in the Southeast. You know what I mean? That's why those are great platforms and whatnot. But again, they come with pros and cons, right? But at the Goodwill, you're gonna get somebody that's trained, and for a probationary period, they're gonna keep their eyes on these folks, man, and make sure that you're providing them with the hours that you said you were gonna provide them with. And then they're also just gonna make sure that these folks been doing a good job. You know what I mean? It's important that you create those relationships, especially in the city where you're doing business. Here's another jewel that you might not think about. In Carolina, there's also places that provide free labor. When I say free now, no, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. You're going to pay, but a lot of times you can be reimbursed up to 75%, and the name of that particular NCC escapes me now, right? So y'all forgive me for that, but that's what I want y'all to start doing, man. Well, excuse me. I gotta spank myself because I said I won't. Naughty. But that's probably a good idea to start examining the resources that are within your area. I think a lot of times we see what I think a lot of times we're comparing ourselves to the people who we might see on Instagram, YouTube, and the like, right? And we're not looking at things from a let's call it an out the mud type of scenario, right? Because most of us don't have a whole gang of money to start a business with or whatnot. You know what I mean? So you want to try to use every resource that's disposable to you, available to you, right? And try to implement that. And then slowly you can start working into other methods and measures or whatnot. Now, I'm not going to tell you to do anything that I haven't done myself. I just don't hear anybody speaking about this particular avenue. And mostly it's because, when we get on here, man, most people are trying to sell you something. You know what I mean? And rightfully so, man. If they acquire the information, they should be able to do whatever they want to do with that information. You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, they paid or suffered to get it. But let's just recap, right? There's day labor platforms, right, that already come with the subcontractor, which they will be insured, and you won't have to worry about any incidents on the jobs in a real event that somebody gets hurt. Now let me just spin off real quick. The reason why you want to have those insurances intact is because people are so happy, man. You heard what Charleston White said in one of his interviews, man. He was just talking about suing different companies that don't meet OSHA standards and so forth and so on. Man, people serious about that, man. So that's just something to think about. Getting right back into it, though. Although I said that these companies aren't endorsing me, and they're not, but there's just, if you're in the Southeast, man, this might work for you. Shift Now, again, that's another day label type of platform, but it's they're reliable for the most part. And even if you have a call out, I'll say they will try to work with you in order to get somebody else out. But it could be expensive now, because there are going to be fees associated with both of those platforms. And even if you try to get go to a traditional temp service, right? Then we spoke about the other entities like Goodwill. Now, I know in most cities, everybody got a Goodwill. You know what I mean? You just want to let the people know what you need. They're going to have people who are looking for jobs, and their job is to get those people jobs, right? So you want to check them out. And you might be able to get those workers at a discount rate, or you might be able to prolong the probationary period. Then we also talk about running the background checks and taking the drug tests. And you want to, it might be a good idea to partner with an organization or a company that'll provide you those drug tests and background checks. I know down here in Charleston, South Carolina, we can run right down into the Charleston County Police Department, and we can just start picking up background checks, this, that, and the third. But we met a young lady tonight at a networking event that actually doesn't. It should cost about $25 per client, or per employee, or per staff member, or whatnot, right? Also, you can just look in the subcontracting period, right? You might want to hire other companies. You're only as small as you perceive yourself to be, in my factual opinion, right? Maybe you're only doing $6,000 a month in revenue, right? And maybe the company that you're suiting or you're courting, maybe they do $32,000 in monthly revenue or whatnot. But maybe they're looking for accounts too. It's none of their business how much money you're actually making. And when you guys are doing business, you're doing business for the purposes of doing business. If it's worth it to them, they might just pick up their account. You know what I mean? So that'll kind of get you on the level of thinking, okay, I'm a boss, and I'm a boss up, although I hate to use that terminology. But I hope y'all get what I'm coming from. It's not my intention to hold you guys to death. Like I said, I'm going to start unpacking this value, and here it is, man. Lastly, we didn't talk about interning or whatnot, right? Through the high schools and through the colleges or whatnot, man. That could be free. These people are going to work for a grid. I don't suggest that you're not paying them anything, because most times free isn't respected. You know what I mean? If it's just for a grid, they might just do the bare minimum, expecting you just to pass them along. So you might want to start getting in touch with some of the colleges in your area. Then you have the nonprofit organizations or whatnot. They're always trying to hire or get people hired. You might run into somebody. You might want to hook up with somebody from a women's shelter. You might want to hook up with somebody from a second chance program. You know what I mean? I don't want anything for you. I just want to get the wheels rolling. The wheels rolling. I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, because from what I've been hearing, some of this information should be sold, right? That's what we always hear. The game should be sold and not told, right? But a promise is a promise. I told you guys to help me meet my subscriber count. I'm going to start unpacking this value, and as things come to mind, because I don't have this channel really organized or whatnot, I'm going to start giving you what I have. And again, we're just going to be sharing our experiences. Let me say this part too. We're gonna get back into doing our cleaning videos or whatnot, because that's our bread and butter, man. Our whole purpose is to try to encourage people to start their own family-owned business, and let them feel their way through things. We'll be a resource for that. So right now we'll be giving out free consultations, about 30 minutes or so, for the next month, for the month of January, right? So if you're serious, you can email us at info@charlestontidy.org, and let's schedule a consultation if that's the route you want to take. You know what I mean? Those are going to be free for the first from now until January 31st. But keep in mind now, the availability is what the availability is, because I can only work within my schedule. I don't want you guys to think I'm some guru or this, that, and the third. That's not what I'm trying to sell myself as. But hey, look, over here we're trying to normalize, start family-owned businesses or whatnot. Do what you want to do with that information and how I said that. You know what I mean? And my whole mission is, my whole what do we call it? Maybe you want to start a cleaning service. But you gotta, if that's the route you're gonna take, man, you gotta be 100% committed, man, because this isn't some hustle that you saw on Instagram and everything just magically works. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know that method. Everything we did, we got it out of Oh, the mic, and in most situations, man, that's how you guys are going to start. And we make no promises, and we make no assumptions. You know what I mean? We do know this, though. If you put your best foot forward, man, right? You come with a I must do attitude, right? And no matter what type of resolve, you're going to get results. You're going to get results. And if you don't, you have nobody else to blame but yourself, because you didn't come with those attributes that I just named just now. All right, so that's me. Maybe I'll put this video out raw. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna just put this video out raw, and how it is. You know what I mean? And then as we move along, excuse me, y'all. As we move along, I'll start editing the material to make it more attractive to you. But I don't give a damn how you feel about the material. It's about how you apply the material. You know what I mean? If you got value from this video, if anything I said made sense, share this video with somebody who can use it. You know what I mean? Like and subscribe, and converse with me, man. Let me know your thoughts. You know what I mean? So I know everyone's not gonna agree with me. I leave the comments on all the time, and I read the comments. Now listen, I've been getting some disrespectful comments and this, that, and the third, right? And it's not even towards the content. It's just more of silliness, this, that, and the third, man. I'm going back and forth in the schools, man. I'm inviting the schools to start chiming into my material, man. Let's please be respectful. I humbly ask that you please be respectful. And if you're in the Charleston area, right? If you're in the greater Charleston area, that's Charleston, South Carolina, and you're interested, if you're already in business, and you're interested in acquiring more accounts, check out our SAP program. That's Subcontractor Account Acquisition Program. And we're just going to provide you the accounts, man, and help you become whole and reach some of your goals. And you can reach us at info@charlestontidy.org. All right, man. Like always, pray and prosper.